Hi guys, my name is Courtney and this is Creative on the Cheap. Today I am bringing you 5 festive fall DIYs that will definitely help bring a little pizzazz to your fall decor. I want to thank Cricut for sponsoring today's video. Now let's dive in to these DIYs. For my projects today, I'm going to be using the Cricut Joy to help me spruce them up. So I picked up this farmer's little stand here from Hobby Lobby. It was in the spring clearance. I did see them the other day. If you cannot find one, however, I have a tutorial linked down below of how you can make one with Dollar Tree supplies, and then you can just pick up the silver buckets from Dollar Tree. So I definitely knew that I wanted to add some words to this, so let me show you how easy it is to create some words in Cricut Design Space. I wanted to take a second to show you how easy it is to create something in Cricut Design Space because I never show this step. So once you open Cricut Design Space, you're going to hit on New Project, and I'm going to be making word decals for this first project. So over here on the left-hand side, I'm going to scroll down, and here it says text. I will click that, and a text box pops up. I'm going to type in my word. There it is. And now what I need to do is get it to how I want it to look. So I do not want this font. So I'm going to come over here where it says font and click the arrow. Now you've got two options here. Number one is Cricut has tons and tons of fonts. All these fonts with the little green A's are the ones that are available to the Cricut Access members. Then if you click on System, these are going to be all the fonts that are on your computer, whether you've downloaded it or your computer just comes with that font. So I'm going to be using one of my favorite Cricut fonts. It's called Four Seasons Home Decor. And once I click that, it's going to adjust just like that. Now the next step on the word is going to go ahead and size it. And there's technically 3 ways you can resize your words. Number one is right here on the bottom left corner, there's a lock. If you unlock that, you can take this little green arrow, this directional green circle here, and you can drag it and move it to whatever height and width that you want. Another option is continue to have it unlocked and then come up here and just set it yourself. So for width, I'm going to say I want it at 3, and my height, I'm going to want it at 1. And then it does it for me and I lock it back. The last way to size it is if, let's say you know that you want it to be 10 inches long, but you want the letters to stay proportionate. You don't care about the height. So I would just go in here, type in 10. And then if you notice up here on the height, it auto adjusted to 3.333. It's going to automatically adjust it so that the letters stay proportionate to each other. And then once you've got your words, then from there, you just go on and continue with your design, send it to your device. In this case, it would be the Joy, and you just continue on with your project. But it's super easy to use this Cricut Design Space. It's very user-friendly, and so now I'm just going to go in and go ahead and finish the rest of my stickers. I did go back and forth whether I wanted to do white or black vinyl, but in the end I decided to do black. So I printed these out with my Cricut Joy, and then I just weeded all the extra vinyl off and added the transfer tape, and then I just have to smooth it on there, give it a quick little rub, and peel it off. And I think the black looks really nice with the metal. So I was liking how the words looked on the buckets, but now I was trying to figure out how to make my little hanging sign. So a Dollar Tree wooden ruler to the rescue here. It was a little long, and obviously I didn't want this round hole. So I'm just using my hobby knife kit to cut this ruler. It took a little bit of, jiggling it, sawing it, and then I just snapped it in half. Once I get it cut to the size I want, then I'm going to go in with some Waverly white chalk paint, do 1 coat, because I still wanted the sign to be somewhat distressed. And once it's all dry, I went ahead and applied my sticker the same way that I did with the pumpkins. And then it was time to get it ready to hang from my farmer's market. To hang it, I knew I kind of wanted it hanging down as opposed to being actually attached to my farmer's market. So I'm just taking my drill, and in the top right hand and top left hand corner, I'm just drilling a small hole. And then I've got some black floral wire, and that is going to be what I attach it to the eye hooks. Once I cut 2 pieces of the floral wire, I just take some eye hooks and I screw them directly into this little farmer's market stand. The wood was really, really soft, so it was super easy to do. And then I go ahead and attach my little sign using the floral wire. It's time to go ahead and fill these containers. So I'm going to use some of this Dollar Tree pool noodle that I had left over. This is a great thing to fill at the bottom of pots, also to use instead of floral foam. It works great. Once I got some pool noodle at the bottom of each of these, I went ahead and took some of the Dollar Tree moss and covered the pool noodles so I couldn't see them anymore. Once that was done, I was ready to go ahead and start filling these. So for the apples, I picked up a bag of red ones and green ones. These came from Hobby Lobby. They were not on sale, but I did use a coupon. The corn and the pumpkins were in the fall section, and they were 40% off also from Hobby Lobby. So I'm just going to go in and fill these. Now, quick little tip here. I would recommend after you go ahead and put the pool noodle and the moss in, put the tins back into the area of your farmer's market stand. Then go ahead and fill these up, because I noticed as I was trying to put them in there, stuff was flying everywhere. So just a quick little tip there. Go ahead and fill them once they're in the stand. Last thing that I felt this little farmer's market stand needed was just a little pennant banner. So I got this scrapbook paper. It was from the 5 Seasons pack from Hobby Lobby. I just found a banner in Cricut Design Space and just put a piece of scrapbook paper on my little mat for my Cricut Joy, ran it through the Cricut Joy and printed these off. And here I'm just using some glue dots from Dollar Tree. I'm just cutting them down and I'm just tacking it up with the glue dots because I do intend to make this a multi-seasonal piece, and I will be using it for Christmas as well. For the second DIY, I'm going to be repurposing this little patriotic sign that came from Hobby Lobby on clearance. And I'm going to start by just popping off the back. Then I'm going to take some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color pumpkin, and I'm going to end up putting 3 coats of paint on the back of this sign. Once it is all painted, I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm just going to glue this back into the frame, and then I will be ready to apply my vinyl decal. Here is my vinyl decal. I ended up doing it with the white permanent Cricut vinyl, and I'm just rubbing over the transfer tape just to make sure it's easy to grab the letters off. And then all I have to do is just stick this down onto my sign, and this little DIY is all finished. For these next two DIYs, I'm going to need 2 of the wooden pumpkins from Dollar Tree. Now, while I'm painting this, one reason I love the Cricut Joy is it's super portable and so easy to move around. So I'm sitting here painting this and I just picked up my Joy and set it on the corner of my table, and it's cutting out the decals that I'm going to need for these 2 pumpkins. If you are on the fence about getting a Cricut machine, I would definitely say the Joy is a great place to start. You can cut scrapbook paper, you can cut paper, you can cut vinyl. It just is a great little machine and so easy to use. So I'm going to paint a 1 coat of the Waverly White chalk paint on both of these pumpkins. I'm not trying to get super full coverage, just enough to kind of get it covered up. And then once those are all painted, I'm going to set them aside to dry. My pumpkins are dry, and these are the 2 decals that I cut out. Both of these were images in the Cricut Access that if you have a subscription to, there's so many different images, and I just grabbed 2 that I liked. And so I'm just going to take these and go ahead and set them down on each of these wooden pumpkins, and then I'll be ready to go ahead and finish out each of these projects. For the Give Thanks pumpkin, I'm just going to be using this little beaded garland thing that I got from Hobby Lobby last year on clearance. I'm just going to untie it and cut off the wooden medallion at the end and then tie my little Give Thanks to it. And then this is all finished, ready to decorate a tray or a bookshelf or a coffee table or a candlestick, whatever you want to use to decorate it with. Finish off this 4th project, all you need is a little bit of twine, and this little pumpkin will be a great thing to add to your Thanksgiving table place settings. Last DIY, I'm going to be taking this jar from Dollar Tree and turning it into a fall luminary. So I cut out this leaf pattern here that I got from Cricut. It was a design available on the Access, Cricut Access, and whenever I apply vinyl onto glass or ceramic, I always wipe it down really good with rubbing alcohol just to make sure the surface is really clean. Then I'm going to take this little vinyl decal and stick it on there. This is just the Cricut black permanent vinyl, and I'm just going to stick it down and use that as my stencil that I'm going to paint over. Once this is all secured down to my jar, I'm going to take some of the pumpkin Waverly chalk paint and I'm going to paint the entire jar. Once I get the coverage that I like, and like I said, you can fill this in all the way if you want to and get full coverage. I was kind of going for more of a streaky look. I'm going to peel off the vinyl sticker, and then this is what I'm left with once I peel it off. You can see the imprint on there. It looks so pretty. And then the last step is going to be to take some of this rope, and I'm going to wrap it around 3 times at the top of the jar. This came from Amazon, and actually it worked out to be way more cost effective than the Dollar Tree nautical rope. It is a little bit skinnier and it does look a little bit different, but I will try to link it down below if you're looking for maybe a different type of rope. I'm just going to use some hot glue to get this attached to the jar, and then once it is all wrapped around, all I need is to drop a little votive candle in there, and this little candle luminary is ready to go. And there you have it, 5 projects that I very easily spruced up using my Cricut Joy. If you are on the fence about getting a Cricut, definitely check out the Cricut Joy. I think it would be perfect for you. Let me know down below which one of these projects was your favorite, and do you own a Cricut? I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Here are some more videos that you might enjoy. I will see you guys in the next one.